Getting ready to take her home. There's the escort.
Yep. Part way. Then you're on your own, buddy.
And the co-pilot.
Well, recent trip, bringing home the new 380 front wheel assist and the 24-row corn planter coming up the lane. Dropped them off and they brought it home. We didn't beat them by a whole lot. I hear it coming up the road right now. It's a 2150 24-row planter. Got starter fertilizer on it, 2x2x2 with a concealed carry, 700-gallon tank, high speed. Probably run 32 mile an hour or so down the road. Here they come. Did you make it, Trip?
Yeah.
Who drove? You or Dad? Did you drive or did Dad drive?
Dad.
Dad drove?
I drove.
Okay. Like Dad's drinking your milkshake?
I'm just holding it.
Well, that was fast.
Yeah, we ended up going down Bridgeport Blacktop.
How fast did it go?
Oh, I think I went 34 downhill, 32 point something most of the
That's
time.
pretty fast, 32.
Yeah, it's about as fast as the other one was. Monday morning, just got a call. Peterbilt, not fixed. On the way to pull it again. We made it. Pete pulled the machine. A long ways. Got Dad back. I'm gonna be taking the 06 Volvo down the Bolero for a load, come back to Fred's, get some beans, work on the bin, and by then George will be back from his appointment. He'll take the truck for the rest of the loads today. Got a load of yellow corn dropped off, went back to David's, load up with beans, head back south. Met Morris in Mount Carmel where we traded trucks. He hopped in semi, grabbed his beast. Hey Harley. And then so now I'm stopping at Fred's, gonna scrape on a bin wall. I don't know how many different bean bins we had this year. Several. Everything was good shape, all good quality. This one here, we got about, I don't know, about 2 foot that was stuck to the walls that rotted a little bit. So for the amount of beans that we handle, the amount of bins we have, that's pretty good. But I stopped in here on the way back from Mount Carmel and I'm going to scrape these walls off. One thing I just forgot to tell you, while I was in Mount Carmel, I stopped at the shirt place. I'm getting 80 shirts made because, true to my word, since we got 10,000 subscribers, we will get that merch store up as soon as we get these shirts in. So I'll make sure to post, let you know, mention when it's up, and hopefully put a link below the video for it too in the description, or let's see how it goes. I'm new to this stuff. It is cold and rainy today. As much as last week felt like spring and was getting all excited, it don't feel like it today. It's 35 and rainy, so.
Got up and left with the Blue Pete this morning at 4:30 a.m. Got about 4 miles and she played out on us again. Sitting out there just waiting for the tow truck. We pulled it back with pickup, unloaded it in the dump, unhooked the trailer. It's going back over to the mechanic. For some reason it got air in the fuel again. Ran all last week fine. We got trouble again today. Then I got good news and then bad news that Eli's gone. That's bad news. For 4 years into the Marine Corps. Missing, but he got sworn in this morning. I watched it on Facebook thing. And then we got more good news. We got a new employee, Jay Evans, that's driving today. Looks like he'll be a good man, so we'll try him. See how that goes.
Got that Fred's made back to farm. About to hop back into the Clayton Lambert and get it all the way cleaned out today.
Yep, there she is, hooked up and ready to go.
All clean, and I'm not. All it's left to do with this one now is just get the sweep taken off, put the side pulleys off, motor off, all that stuff, and take her out. Just a reverse of how we set it up. Don't worry, I'll wait for help this time. And I climbed up top to shut this lid. Just open that up for a little more light in there so you can see a little better. That one's empty, so there's only 3 corn bins left. 2 have yellow corn in them, 1 has white corn. It's not many bins left, but there are 3 biggest, so still a lot of bushel. We'll finish that out this summer sometime. I mean, they'll be a lot lower between now and then because we still got contracts to fill, but they won't be empty till then. And we're down to 2 bean bins left. 1 at Fred's, which just has a few loads left in it, and 1 at David's, which is a little bigger, but still, I think it's about ready to start the sweep. Or I think that's what David said today. He went and checked on it. So just thought I'd give you an update up here from the bird's eye view. Tuesday, nasty foggy day out today. Knox County Tire out there working on a flat on the 7800. Mowing tractor mostly is what it's used for. I'm getting the new planter out. Gonna bring her in the shop, go over it. David's run the quad out. Fix a leak we got on it. Spring prepping. Quad track and planter and new tractor in the shop, playing around. Gonna put a sticker on it. Gonna put a camera on the back because you can definitely not see over that tank there going down the road. And just going over it, trying to learn a few things about it before we get to the field. It's always good to know something. What are you doing? Putting on those cheap looking plates?
Putting all these plates on, figuring out how. I thought this turned it manually. It does, I guess. Okay. Yep,
those look very cheap compared to the seed bowls from Deere. Just saying.
And they look very hard to get to clean them out or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't come with part near as good as the Deere's does. Neither be benefits and pros and cons.
Deere up here.
Yeah.
Down here.
Yep, I agree with that.
All right, well that ain't bad. 2 days he's got the torch out.
He take your parking spot too?
Yeah, he took the car parking spot, just left half the tractor.
Look at there. Jay's second day. Welcome to YouTube, Jay.
Well, this is what come out of the peat. This little ball right here looks like a little pearl. Right there.
Oh yeah.
It's part of a check valve on the first fuel filter it goes through. It's supposed to suck up against there. If the filter gets too dirty, Why, I don't know. To shut the fuel off, so it shuts the truck down. Well, when these gets bad, this check valve, these come loose, and then it'll float in there, start it, sucks it up, run out of fuel in a few miles, shuts it down. So the solution was to take the ball out of the filter, pack car engine, and I think that's what they recommended. So we'll see. Taking her tomorrow sometime, see if she works.
Wednesday. Didn't get a whole lot done with the planter yesterday. Mostly gawked at it and figuring stuff out and looking at the books and trying to figure out what does what. And didn't get as much done as I'd like to. There's some guys here from a different color company talking about things, had a meeting, and then got back from that. Then he came in, and the gray Pete had a pretty good shimmy and shake. And the yoke, got the new cross in there on the U-joint on the drive line. Working on that, started getting that apart, and had to use a lot of heat, so we let it cool down. Finish that today. Work on that later today. Got a load of seed coming in today. Before we do all that, meeting with Soil Warrior over at our Indiana place for the post-use inspection from when we use it this fall. So I'm gonna head over there and do that first. Meet him at our Indiana shed. Okay, leaving the Indiana shed. Didn't get any footage of it, but we got the Soil Warrior hooked up, and good looking Greg is going over it right now, seeing how it got weared on and how what needs replaced and all that different stuff. Just a post-use inspection. Said he didn't need me, he could do it on himself, so that's good, because I'll head back and get working on other stuff. Probably start on the Peterbilt, then move on to the planter. Well, made it back to the farm. I am now leaving again. Another day with the Pete on the road, dead in the water. Thought it was fixed, was not fixed. It makes it the exact same distance every time before it dies. Like, I don't know what that'd be, 5 miles? Good 5 miles, and then it goes belly up. So I don't know, still a fuel issue. Keep thinking they find something, then ends up not being it. We don't have a tow hook that fits. It fell out, we think, going down the road. So hopefully we can prime it and get it going to get it home. You know, they got those adopt the highway funds. Is this what they mean by this? We seem to hang out in this area. Yeah. Always breaks down about the same spot. Try and prime it up in ether. That's at least get the FS's lot. Oh, there he goes. Some ether and some revving. Got him primed up good enough. FS has got a big lot just about, I don't know, mile down the road, so hopefully he can at least make it there where it's off the road. I'm gonna pick up our flares. Well, looks like he's still running. He made it to FS's lot. Looks like he's trying to make her home. Godspeed. It looks like he's gonna make it back. At least we got that going for us. Dad's on the phone with the mechanic. Dumped the trailer here at the farm. Gonna unhook the trailer. And hopefully he'll make us drive back over there. Evidently something's still wrong with it. Just don't know what. Something with the fuel. Okay, the pit's emptied out. Go get this all shut down. Close the dump up because it's like a 100% chance of rain today. And well, we'll try and keep the rain out of our dump area best we can. So I'm gonna shut these doors and Go get Dad at Olney. Hopefully he makes it. We'll find out. Hopefully we don't find a broken down Pete along our journey. And we found the missing tow hook. Dad knew something happened the other day when he was bringing it back from the mechanic. It was right, well, you can't see it now. It was right here by the Lawrence County prison, not the Crawford County one, which we farm beside. Anyways, we found it. We turn around. We're going back to get it. There it is. Right here where we left it.
Made it. Runs good coming to Olney and back. It's just the elevator's the problem.
That's an important part too.
It's tired. Don't like the weight. Oh, grab it. Okay.
Yoke off.
Yoke's off.
You can't ask me to help. I'm filming.
Oh, you got a video?
It's like Animal in the Wild. I'm a non-partial observer.
Oh, okay.
The
You're
cheetah's
like,
gonna
Jane
catch
Goodall.
No, I'm like that lion's gonna catch that antelope. I can't do nothing about it. Guaranteed to work. Good as new.
It is guaranteed to, it will function. I just don't know if it'll fix the problem.
Functioning's better than
Then
the other Peterbilt sometimes.
Yeah. That thing ain't been a pain. Like.
Well, if we ever decide to sell it, it runs perfect.
That's right.
All right, drive shafts back together. Now we'll take it out, hook it up to the trailer, fill it up with corn so somebody can take off with it tomorrow. Then we'll see if it's fixed yet or not then. See that cable? Pull that cable. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Looks good. Back to what I was trying to do yesterday. Running camera wire right now. I'll go through that. Box iron and back there, because no way to see behind you going down the road. Load of seed made it. Gonna unload him. We're getting close to having enough to plant this spring. This load will get us not everything, but we'll be really close to having it all.
Well, it's Thursday, March 18th. It's 5:08 a.m. and I've made it down to Mount Vernon, Indiana, to the port of Indiana, to Valero, the ethanol plant. I left about 3:40 this morning. I didn't aim to leave that early, but got up with the dog and I just couldn't go back to sleep, so here I am. But we're down here again. Trucks are already here in front of us. Probably 10, 12. There's CGB up there. Busy place down here. One thing I like about Valero, it's 6:36 and I'm already dumped and out of there. They start at 6 o'clock. So when there's just about, I guess it was about 20 trucks in front of me is the way it ended up. You get out of there early. Bye to Valero for the rest of the day. I'll be going back to Newburgh. Hey, I'm on 64, Interstate 64, headed east to 41 to go to the Indiana farm. Look at that pretty sunrise over there. It's been raining during the night. Clouds are pulling away. Sun's coming up above the clouds. Kind of neat.
Sun's out, but it's wet. Rained quite a bit yesterday, most of the night. Well, I figure I'll go through this planter with you now. See, talk about what first thoughts of it and whatnot. Didn't do that on the ride home, kind of like Dad did, because I didn't have a GoPro with me, so I was just taking a few things with my phone. Currently trying to decide where the brander at. Dad talked about how he thinks everybody needs to have mailboxes with rain gauges or whatnot. I think everybody should put their name on stuff, especially their semis and their farms, because I usually drive by a farm and think, man, it's a nice looking farm. I wonder whose that is, or whose semi that is. And I also like them on tractors. I don't know where to put there or there. We'll start with the planter. Putting the liquid nitrogen. We're going to carry liquid nitrogen there. And it's going to be supplied through these concealed gauge wheels. There's a knife right here is where it's going to spit that out. So it'll be on both sides of the row, so we can it can start taking up its nitrogen sooner. Corn has a early growth, ugly stage that it goes through before the roots reach the nitrogen, so it should reach it first. So hopefully it misses that ugly stage, and hopefully it getting its food earlier in life, like us humans, that'll help it be better when it gets big, get a little more proper nutrition. On the front, we also got these road cleaners or trash wheels, depends where you're at in the country, what you call it, I guess. These are clean sweeps. I do like these better than the ones we had on the Deere, because the one on the Deere, I can't remember what they call them, but I think they're Deeres, but it wouldn't move near as far, and I had to make an adjustment, which these have adjustment too, but these will lift way far out of the way, kind of heavy, way far out of the way as need be. And Deere not so much, so you kind of had to get them adjusted on the actual frame a little better so you could get them out of the way when you didn't want them in freshly worked dirt. But to mention those, of course, these are just guards that we haven't taken off. There'll be shark teeth just for working on it so you don't cut yourself, but once we cut them off, they'll stay off. Like Dad said a couple days ago, from here up, I think I might like the Deere better. From here down, like the case better. Like the fact that the gauge wheel pulls instead of pushes. So like the Deere, you got to grease right here, which is there on the Deere, but you got to grease that like every day, and then worry about those staying tight, whatnot. You don't even have to worry about that on the case. And also like the closing system better on the case too. I like the two blades here, which we can adjust this one and this closed one. Just seems to do a better job of closing the trench, especially if you're wet clay. But the seed delivery, I'm still not sure. Hopefully this belt's as good as the brush. Time will tell on that. Of course, it's a high speed. It's got the speed tubes, precision planting parts. Whereas the Deere had a brush here, this has a belt. See, that will feed that seed right into there. And I'll drop it all the way down to the ground, so we'll be able to go fast on this one too. The closing disc has a cylinder on it that we'll be able to adjust from the cab. So we can adjust how it closes the trench that way. Then the wheel, closing wheel, it's just on a spring. It'll be a constant all the time. This one's taken apart because putting on new seed discs and whatnot. This also has hydraulic down pressure with the delta force right here. Adjust how much pressure you're putting down on the row, or unlike the Deere either pushes down or has nothing. This one can even lift, which won't be that handy all the time, but where we farm some really sandy ground, say it gets worked up, it'd be nice. The row's heavier than we want to be, so we'll be able to lift. Got the camera on yesterday so you can see behind me. This is where we'll fill up the liquid nitrogen that goes plumbed up to the tanks. Oh, something I do like better on this one than the Deere. You got the air compressor here, and over on the other wing they had the generator, which runs all electric drives and whatnot. The reason I kind of like it like that is because Deere's was all here and underneath, and it was way more jammed up, made it hard to work on stuff. Since those are on the wings, it just leaves a little more room here so you can get in. Say you got a hydraulic hose busted or whatever, or airline, it just makes it easier to get to. Just be a little easier to work on, I think, just because you got more room. Lids are a little different too. I like these myself. Instead of spinning on and off, and sometimes you don't get it started just right, it all just latches down pretty easy. And it's got a little bit more room in here, just a little bit, than what our old one had, which is good for when you're planting beans, but corn I usually just put in a pro box and go. I don't usually put in a piece of pro box. Something else I like about this one over the Deere, which I know Dad's talked about a lot. Sometimes, see these, you got your bulk tanks that go to these hoses, which go to each individual row. Well, sometimes something will get plugged up in here and you want to be able to get it unplugged. Deere, you just kind of, that's kind of a bear. You go through here and try to unplug it because you don't want to spill all your corn out of here. Well, this case, pop this off, take this thing off right here, slide it in, that blocks your tank off. So that way, nice and easy, you can get up in there. Say you got a rock that got in there, piece of paper, whatever, and you can unplug it. Nice and simple. I know we talk about that a lot, but it's really a big advantage, as you know, if you've ever had rows plugged up. So now let's head to the tractor. Here's a look inside the cab. Fancy new Pro 1200. Got really nice resolution. Can do a lot of things on it. Took a class on it. Remember part of it, maybe. We'll find out. Also nice screen here. But we also have to have the Pro 700 right now because the planner software is not ready to make it compatible with the Pro 1200, which kind of stinks, but surely they'll get that going here for long. Other features on the tractor I really like how this handle is. You can just do so much from it. Resume and auto steer, different hydraulic functions, valves, auto steer engaged, forward, backwards, your 3-point up and down, and then you can set these to be wherever you want. You can have them be more hydraulics or just have them be any kind of button you want. You can navigate your screen here doing different things if you want, or it's also touch screen, of course. Fancy lights. Just really feels like a big cab. Just missing one thing. A refrigerator. There's no refrigerator. A Deere has a refrigerator. I'm going to title this video, what's better, a 380 Magnum and a 2150 planter, or an 8340, or a 1775 NT planter, or which one looks better? I don't know which one's better yet. Won't know till we get in the field, but we'll find out this spring. Now, as for which one looks better, that's just personal preference. I do like the way red and black looks, but I don't know. Just kind of nostalgia from growing up with that green and yellow. So pick your poison on that.
It's just about 11 o'clock. I've already made 2 loads. One to Mount Vernon, one to Newburgh, Valero, and ADM. I'm pulled up here to the Indiana farm, the Wilson farm. Gonna load up for my 3rd load. Take long to load. That hopper tank is fast. Got a big opening in the bottom.
Kind of turned nasty today. Gordy and Travis have already been back. Dad and Jay and Garrett are still out trucking, and David's been over cleaning out our 250,000 bushel bin. Just about out of corn, Indiana, so we're getting there. All the yellow corn will be left to be here, and there'll be 2 bins of white corn left over there. But she's branded now. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Trucking today. Took 1 load of yellow corn down the Bolero outfit over in Indiana. Filling up with some white corn. Gonna take this to ADM Broadway in downtown Evansville. Take this one down there and go back and get another one. Gordy and Garrett are in front of me. Jay and Travis are behind me. Dad's back at the farm doing a CEO class.
Anybody have any idea what the Chicago Board of Trade is? It's like the stock exchange, but it's for commodities. Does anybody know what soil testing is? You guys don't know much about farming.
No, that's why we're here.
We run 1 combine corn, pick well over 1 million bushel a year with that 1 combine. Run 2 in beans. All of our soybeans goes to the Ohio River. All of our soybeans, I would say 90% of them end up in China because they go right on a barge, right down the Gulf, and they're exported, okay? Or our corn will go down there. A lot of it's exported, but a lot of it's for domestic feed and things. There's also an ethanol plant there at Mount Vernon. The corn, the better ground, you plant thicker, okay? More population. On the beans, you plant the other way. The poorer ground, you plant thicker.
There's a lot to farming. It's highly technical. You got, I mean, think of all the things you talked about. The chemistry alone, you know. tell them the difference between, just you talk about the size. Years and years and years ago, people would own a couple hundred acres and be able to raise a family and live on that. What does it take now to?
It really takes, in my opinion, about 1,500 acres
Yeah.
minimum
Yeah.
per family.
Yeah,
And I'll be quite frank, some years we don't make any money on our taxes because the prices are down,
Yeah.
the yields are down. And then years we'll have good years. So you gotta have the capacity to be able to pull yourself through the bad time. We expand about every year, this on especially leased ground. We own about half our land, and then we lease the other half from other owners, okay? Some farmers, I'll have to tell you, are quite cutthroat. If she owns ground, they'll go to her in the wintertime and say, I'll pay you more per acre, because it's so much per acre we usually pay them to farm their land. We don't do that. People call us and then we talk to them.
And David's the 250,000 bushel bin here working on it. That's full yellow corn. Making it around. He's in there somewhere. There he is. Stopped in J&L to grab a book I need for the 380. Always fun to look around the lot, especially when you see the first part of your 9250 combine coming in. The combine's not here yet, but the new style tracks for her is. They ship separate from Mount Vernon, Indiana. More on those in a different episode about what's different about them and the advantages of it. Coming in for the last load of the week, behind Jay. Filling up. Travis filling up fuel. Garrett filling up at another spot. Another week coming to the end. Get back in on Monday. Thanks for watching. See you next week.